And we are into the draft. Now, Team Synergy is going to be on the blue side since we are switching sides. And now for the red hand side, Team Nebula. I think so. We're going to see that is going to be a respect ban against Eeks there. So it's not going to be able to have Cruel. Just a little bit too much annoyance against that team.
Yes, it looks like Adagio is coming out on the other side, and we're seeing some Shadow Overs, some Flicker, some Ozo, Lance. All right, yesterday we saw Lance was the #1 band champ, basically alongside Glaive. So let's see if those bans yesterday were really worth it. If Synergy is going to be able to use this Lance and where it brings their team build, as we're looking at the mist to see where they might be picking. And is it going to be the Ringo? There we go, Ringo. That ban game 1. It looks like they're going to get to have Ringo this game. And we're going to see where Stinson, the second, is going to go. We saw Finn last game. All right, we're seeing a little hover over Arden. Maybe we're going to see Arden. Ryan? Okay, Arden here. Ooh, curious. Are they going to go Ryan? We see Koshka, Vox. Is that Ryan really going to come out? That's not a character I've heard is that great in 2.1. That would definitely be a surprise.
And I would not advise it against this Vox right now, especially we have seen it, and they're going the same one. Quantum is going to be on that Koshka. They're doing what works for them, and it's just unfortunate because Valanto is just going to be able to Githian wall knock anybody off the side, but this Kestrel might be able to get into the back line and do damage.
Yes, and if they can set up some proper trap, that's going to be all it takes to burst down some of these slightly squishier champs on the other side of Team Synergy. They're not the squishiest ever. They got that solid Lance there, but a little bit of sustain to try to keep Ringo and Kestrel going. I gotta say, Team Nebula has a pretty solid team comp going into this game.
Are correct. If anything is an indicator of game #1, how well that Koshka and Vox works for Team Synergy. We're going to have to see what they can do. This is going to be the second game in this best of 3. Can Synergy take it 2-0 into the finals, or is Nebula going to make a reverse sweep? We're going to find out here at the TBCS, both teams as they head into the fold.
And here, right away, just from the beginning, Crystal Power Ringo. Let's see how that goes. I know a lot of people really seem to be preferring Weapon Power Ringo in this current patch. So let's see how Crystal Power Ringo is going to go. And it looks like we might see a really quick early game engagement right here.
And with that, level 1 is already impaled. Does land onto Ice. Trying to see what they do. Oh no, Team Synergy might be experiencing first blood. Oh no. Quantum is actually now turned around, taking loads of damage, trying to see what they want to do. No sides are going to be trading first blood right now, trying to see what they want to do. No, doesn't want to get into the brush. They do have Impale. That would be a very spelling bad news bears. They can land that Impale, trying to see what they want to do. Lando's just sitting there teasing them.
Yes, and it's really interesting. It's really unfortunate for them. They were seriously low on life, not being able to really capitalize on that. But ooh, it looks like they're going to capitalize on it now. Even with that Impale, is going to get the miss? No, and he is going to be taken down for the first blood.
With that, unfortunately, Blanto just got caught out of position there, and unfortunately, it just did not work for them.
Yes, and we're going to see now, it looks like Dikuma right now is actually getting some solid push in lane, which is pretty impressive, considering that first blood, a little bit of pressure being put on. And we see that Koshka, are they going to try to go in here? The miss needs to be careful, or yes, he's going to get burst on right there. Okay, and they both managed to escape.
And with that, Stinson just doing Vanguard right onto the mist and was able to protect him just a little bit, but Ike's just looking extremely low. They're going to have to be careful. Quantum just lands one leap right onto it. It spells bad news bears. There goes the Impale. That is going to be a trade, though, 1-for-1, as both Quantum and Ike's actually does go down.
Yeah, and let's see if that 1-for-1 trade is going to end up being worth it. We see Ike's going back. already getting just a little bit more weapon power. We haven't seen the Mist able to go back yet, and we see the Lance already with at least a little bit more builds, a few more items. And wow, the Mist. Okay, finally gonna head back. Are they gonna dive in? No, really playing dangerous right now with such low life. All it takes is one impale and that's it. Oh, is he going to be able to survive? Yes, solid meat shield there coming in from Stinson the second. And still the Mist is just not willing to go back.
It's just perfect vanguards coming from Stinson right there. It saved the Mist life just by the skin of his teeth. And again, I think this is Nebula's just team motto is by the skin of our teeth we will win. And Quantum might be taking the first kill. And then Eeks is just still right on the run, taking a lot of damage. There we go. It is going to be another trade. But Lanto is going to be having to pop his boots just to get out of there. And now Nebula is just going to back off. I mean, Team Nebula is still in the driver's seat, has a little bit of advantage. If they can hold that advantage, they can still keep pushing it. But the longer this game goes on, we're going to see a repeat of the very first game in this best of 3.
Yes, and it looks like they're going to be keeping up this pokes in the lane. Taking just a quick look at the stats, right now Dekuma is starting to get a slight edge on the CS lead, which if he can keep that edge up, that's going to be really useful because, you know, yes, you've been right. Really great gauntlet, like really great work keeping the Mist alive, but even though he's staying in the lane really long, it doesn't seem to be doing them good, and it looks like they're going to get Eeks called out here in another fight.
And with that, Volanto is looking really, really low. They just need 2 auto attacks. There we go. That is going to be enough. And then Quanto's just trying to go and do a little bit of damage right back to it. But Nebula, right in the driver's seat, is just taking their lead and running with it. But taking a look at the gold, I mean, it's actually about a couple, not even about 100 gold in favor of Team Nebula, but 2 kills ahead. They just need to keep this lead and keep going with it. Take those objectives in strides.
Yes, and it doesn't hurt. I mean, those little leads. We saw some matches with that yesterday where sometimes it was just that little lead, getting that one kill over and just keeping on doing it until you could finally really start to steamroll here, really start to get built. We're already seeing Dekuma get some solid defense. Looks like he's going to need it at this point. Ringo is starting to get pretty solidly into his build too. He's got his first tier 3 item. And I'm really going to be curious to see how the Crystal Power Ringo is going to compare when we're looking at someone like Dekuma, who might be able to zoom in, who might be able to get a good impale from his teammates. Which side is going to be able to come up on top?
Correct. We're just going to have to see as the game does go into its 6 minutes. About 200 gold in favor of the teams. 1 shot, 1 kill does come out. Barely just taking the skin of his teeth. Fountain is popped. And he's going to be the first one to go down on the side of Team Nebula. There goes Frenzy Catnip right onto the other side. Stinson is going to be the next to fall. And that is going to propel Team Synergy back into the lead.
Yes, and good job on Quantiv with that little sliver of life, making sure to just get out, survive. They weren't able to at least get that kill to be a little bit more of a trade. Also, I see Stinson the second. A lot of flares, a lot of mines. I hope some of those mines start to get placed down a little bit more because we can see on the blue side, they have 3 solid points of vision. They're having their general side safe. You're not going to see too many rotations catching them by surprise. And right now, Stinson the second might need to do the same to make sure that they don't get crept up on in too much more of a lead.
I mean, we saw this from game 1, where Team Synergy obviously will have the vision advantage. Stinson is more into carrying the flares, and unfortunately, it's just Volanto is good at clearing vision. And by the time that Stinson actually puts it down, it's too late, and Volanto actually just pots it anyway. And then here comes the impale. That is going to be enough damage. Wait for it. Is Frenzy Catnip again just doing a double kill and just giving the kills over to Vox and keep building him up. Right now he's 2-0, has both the Sour Blade and also the Blazing Salvo at 7 minutes into the game. And we're seeing the repetition of the last 2 fights is they take out the Mist, and then they frenzy catnip Stinson, because you will not be able to frenzy catnip Eeks in time to actually lock him down. So they're just focusing on Stinson as soon as they do pick up the Mist.
Yeah, and I mean, especially when with you're seeing this Koshka going in, I'm a little so. I mean, I know that they're trying to get some serious damage early on, only just starting a little bit on the defense for the Mist at this point. I mean, yes, we see boots, but only a little bit on crystal power. Okay, so I was gonna say, is that fight gonna break out? Maybe yes, no, just a couple pokes. Ooh, and that one shot, one kill coming up against Dekuma, and and another hit there too, forcing Dekuma to kind of retreat. But back to what I was saying, it seems like Team Nebula is only kind of starting to get in on the defensive now, and they kind of need it with this burst damage taking them down.
With that, we might be seeing another fight. We don't want to see Vox. He's just a little bit too low. Quantum taking a good amount of damage coming from the Mist, and trying to see, there goes the fountain being popped from Belanto. And I do have to say, we're not saving the fountain for clutch moments, but necessarily, and that was a waste of a fountain there, since you already had Vox recalling. So instead of just staying for the fight, you had a wasted fountain you could have saved for another team fight. Nebula, though, taking a look at that gold miner, might be going for it. Trying to see what they want to do. Here comes Quantum. It's going to be Frenzied Catnip, and this is what I was talking about. You do not waste the Frenzied Catnip onto Kestrel, otherwise it's going to be bad news bears. Belanto, it's going to be taking a little bit too much damage. Trying to see what they can do. Vox is going to be able to pick up that kill. Easy kill, double kill. That is another triple kill for Vox. I mean, how many triple kills have we seen so far against Team Nebula? This is the 4th or the 5th triple kill that we have seen come out from this player on Vox. And it's just, right now, you should have banned Vox away from this player, because he's a force to be reckoned with.
I mean, they call the position carry for a reason, right? He is definitely just pile driving in, and I completely agree with you. Not taking out that box probably was not the greatest call for bans on that one, and now he's just making sure that he can get in there and build that damage every single time. Already see the breaking point, already see the Sorrow Blade. It's going to be hard for them unless they get some serious defenses built up right now for them to kind of hold him back.
I mean, you are right. Stinson, Team Nebula, trying to see what they can do. They already have one turret down. One shot, one kill does land onto Belanto's. Not going to be able to do too much. There we go. It's going to spot out Quantum, trying to see what they want to do. But that's going to be a loads of damage. Not going to pop the active camo in time, though. Quantum is going to be the first one that's going to go down for Team Synergy, trying to see what they can do. That is going to be a second kill. That is going to be a shutdown. Massive gold. But there comes Eeks, trying to see what they can do. Just bouncing around the team, just trying to stall out. They don't want to give out the actual ace on over, and it's just going to be enough to stall it out, not give over the ace buff. Popping, there we go, popping that crucible, but it's not going to do too much. He was going to be already dead.
That was an incredible stall. We've seen quite a few of those awesome stalls this game, you know. Keep an eye out there, all you captain players and everyone else. Sometimes it's just what you need to survive the ace, but it looks like we're going to see Team Nebula getting an uncontested gold miner. Yes, they get an immense gold payout, full payout, all 300 gold, trying to make up for that turret they lost earlier. And it looks like they got 2 players returning too, so they want to make sure they got some full health and definitely be able to buy everything that they need.
I mean, right now the kills are tied, but still Team Synergy is in the lead for the gold, but it does not feel like it right now, because they are walking right into those active camos, and that's how they lost that last fight. You had your Quantum just end up dying to auto attacks, and then you had the Vox just completely just sit in that active camo and just get annihilated. What the Vox needs to do is just stay in that back line, build up that breaking point you have, because now you have the monocle, you have the crit, get another triple kill, push for the win, and end this best-of-3 series.
And I'm also noticing on that same point, both sides, flares. I mean, we still see Stints in the second with a few mines, like, okay, finally placing one down, but oh, it looks like they're going to get it on Dekuma.
Does come down, glimmer shots out the wazoo, trying to see what they can do. The mist is going to pop it right on to the Hellfire Brew. Is that going to be enough, though? Yes, that is going to be enough for the Hellfire Brew. Fountain was already popped from Valanto, so it wasn't going to do anything. There we go. Quanta doing loads of damage. There we go. Team Nebula is just turning it around right now. The kills is 9-11, and they're going to be taking a look at the first turret. Nothing much that Valanto can do right now in this situation. And oh, we have to watch. Ice is just super low, almost getting killed out by that impale, but they were able to take the first turret, and they have successfully turned the game around. They were 4,000 gold behind, and they have closed the deficit completely.
All it takes sometimes is just picking your fights very carefully. And as we're seeing, these flares are just not enough right now for Vision. They're really falling into that traps those Kestrels, that Kestrel is placing. They really, just to be honest, they got to stop doing that. I mean, Dikuma's already proven he can really put down some serious damage if they let him, but they're just kind of dying before they can really have the chance to do it.
And Team Synergy cannot be making these mistakes. We didn't see these mistakes being made in the first game. I'm wondering why we're seeing these now, because you can't be calling a game before it is over. And right now, I feel like Team Synergy is just getting a little bit ahead of themselves and going into these fights thinking they have them, when you're not putting down flares for those active camos and then proceeding to walk into them. But
yes,
here comes another fight. Quantum is going to go in. That's going to be an Atlas, so they just have to wait out the Atlas. There we go. That is going to be actually a block onto Ice for the Frenzy Catnip, and we're going to see a lot of damage. That's going to be one kill, though. Ice is doing massive amounts of damage. If Valanto can just land an impale, that is going to be killing off the mist. Trying to see what they can do. Trying to see Valanto, trying to see what he wants to do. He's just rolling all over the place now. He does know, there we go. A little bit of recall, a little bit of BM coming out. Valanto is going to miss that impale. And unfortunately, it's not going to save Valanto, and he's just going to try to stall out the ace, and it's going to be successfully. He's not going to want it since it's not going to go for it, but Valanto might have just sacrificed himself for that treant. No, he is good.
Yeah, and let's just big credit to him again. Another really solid stall. And by the way, take a look at that CS. Dikuma, wow, already taking like almost a solid 50 lead on CS against the Mist. And even with that extra bit of money, yes, he's getting built really solidly right now, but thus far they just haven't been able to use it. He has that lead and advantage trying to build against the Ringo, but he's not getting a chance to go in and truly use it. Eeks is just really masterfully making sure to get those shots down and get him killed before he has his chance.
I mean, this is just straight saying that Nebula has the better positioning in these fights. Eeks is just toying with him right now, as he is able just to go in, and then again, Team Synergy walks into those active camos. One shot, one kill does go off, doesn't land on anybody. Here comes the impale, gonna pin up Bostinson. Quantum is gonna be the first kill down, and then here comes the Mist, just gaining as much damage as they can, because it is a CP Ringo. Dikuma is gonna be the first one to go down. Oh, the Mist is gonna go down, but Eeks is gonna be turning his sights on Valanto and just gonna be calling it off. Right now,
they don't want to do that stall game again.
As long as Eeks can focus Quantive and then turn his attention with the Mist over to Dikuma, they're gonna win every single time.
Yes, and I was kind of surprised that they were even trying to half contest that Kraken. Maybe they were trying to lure Vantino in just a little bit. Unsuccessful, but I mean, gotta give him some credit for trying.
But going in at 17 minutes right now, Team Nebula has just completely turned the game around. Even though they're only about 400 gold down, they have successfully won the past 3 to 4 team fights just by the jungle carry of Eeks on Kestrel.
And we're also seeing they're putting down a lot more vision now. I really think they're trying to make sure if there's any chance to get someone out of position and kill them basically before the fight can go the way they want it to, they need to make it happen. So you're seeing a lot of those mines coming out right now, lots of little green just ready to burst off and give them an idea of where the enemy team is coming from.
You are correct. Well, taking a look at it, it's still about 17 minutes, almost 18-minute mark happening, and they're just clearing out the mines, playing Minesweeper at this point. Trying to see Hellfire Brew is going to go out. He is going to land on Diakuma, and it is going to be blocked, so there's not going to be the extra damage coming out from the Hellfire Brew. But Geeks trying to see what they want to do. Is going to miss that impale. Here comes Quantum, and again, if they can actually take that damage right on the Quantum, there's not much they can do. Frenzy Catnip is going to land. There we go. The Mist is going to be the first one to fall. Here comes Team Synergy. It's going to be 1-to-1 trade. Quantum is down. Trying to see what they can do. There we go. It is turned around for Team Synergy right after they do take down the Mist. They turn their sights, run on to Eeks, and now they're going for a Stinson.
All right, it looks like Stinson is going to get away. That shutdown, that was some gold they really needed in that fight. And it looks like they're going to be able to start this, especially with Dekuma. This is not impossible. I mean, we're going to see at least 10 more seconds here until the Mist can come back and try to get in with Ringo. Let's see if they can get in enough damage or if it's going to be contested or not.
Well, right now they're both members. Oh, I do take that back. I was looking at the red team, but these members are not infused. Now Arden is infused, so he does have that chance to actually take it with Vanguard or Blood for Blood, trying to time his right steps. One shot, one kill is not going to wait for it. Does secure it. He does waste his boost. There we go. That is going to be Frenzy Catnip right after the Vanguard. That is going to be a stun up by Githyan Wall onto the Gauntlet, and Team Synergy has again just turned it around and taken the steal, pretty much the kill up, the lead away from Team Nebula. They have a chance to close this game out.
They do, and let's see if they can get a really solid push here, start really getting a little bit more of a lead, maybe a few more kills in their advantage. They might be able to get something really solid here. It looks like they're going to mostly get to just take down that first turret for free. Wow, not even any contesting there.
No contesting at all because they do not have Stinson actually there. He'll be up in just a couple seconds. Here comes the Hellfire Brew. Is going to be blocked. Loads of damage coming out from the Mist. Quantum is going to go down. They don't want to fight this. They need to get out. Now it is 2v3 with the Kraken, but they're going to be running the risk, seeing what they want to do. Eeks is both members of, all three members of Team Nebula are just going to be focusing on that Kraken as it does get melted. And Team Synergy does make the right call and actually back away from the enemy base.
Yeah, sometimes you don't want to go in there like that. They got their 2 turrets. Time to back off. And I mean, they got a serious bit of damage on one of the crystal turrets as well. They could have kept trying to go in there and gotten themselves killed or possibly counter-aced. Sometimes the best offense is just having a good defense and knowing when you need to retreat.
Right now it is about 20 minutes in, about 21 minutes into the game. It's about 17 kills, about 3 kills in favor for Team Nebula. And even though it is 3 kills in favor of Team Nebula, it's about 2,000, almost 3,000 gold in favor of Team Synergy. And it's just back and forth, bare knuckle brawl fighting between these two teams. I'm almost hearing the dull thuds when each hits lands between these fights because it's back and forth.
Oh, and look at that. We were talking about how Eeks earlier was doing some really solid work. We see a Tyrant's Monocle coming out. I mean, we see Dekuma too, really just about full built. Maybe this is going to be the part where we start seeing Team Synergy get a little bit more of that chance to start coming back, as it looks like they're trying to see if they can pick another fight right now.
Trying to see what they want to do. Flares are going out on both sides. We could see it. The Mist actually is going up just a little bit. Loads of damage coming out on the side. There we go. Hellfire Brew is going to be blocked, and that's going to be enough. There we go. Fountain is going to be popped. Frenzy Catnip right on the, from Quantum right on the Mist, and here comes the damage coming out from Box. This is what they need. Loads of crits coming out from Dekuma. That is, oh my lord! That is Eeks going to be taking 1 kill, 2 kills, but Volanto is going to pick up that ace just in the nick of time. Beautiful, beautiful coming out from Eeks. even just with one monocle. And then taking a look at the other side, did he come out with those 2 monocles, obviously having the more gold and the better build, but just the damage coming out from Eeks is insane.
And let's see what Fantino can really do here. I mean, not a lot of minions to work with, and we're already going to see the mist coming up soon. I mean, it's great they got that ace, but can't really do much with it. Like, maybe get a little bit of vision set up, maybe see what you're going to do, but it looks like the team's slowly going to start coming back up. We're going to see the mist, we're going to see Dekuma and Quantitative, since in the second is already coming up, and let's see. Oh, yes, there we go. Taking that little bit of an opportunity, getting a little bit of extra vision to try to see if they can get an advantage in that next team fight. A really smart decision. And yeah, then going right back to buy a bunch more flares to keep doing the same. Really, really smart. You know, you're on your own. It's not like you can really start or take the Kraken. Just make sure you know exactly where your opponents are going to be.
I mean, right now, Team Synergy is in the lead. They obviously have the more damage coming out. Eeks might be in a very bad situation. Quantum does go in. There we go. Atlas does slow up all the members of the team. Frenzy Catnip right onto Eeks, trying to see what they can do. Loads of damage. That's going to be the first kill. That's going to be a second kill. That's going to be a double kill. Can we see a triple kill? Triple kill coming out from Dekuma. And I mean, going into that fight, the only person on Team Nebula's side that was infused was Stinson. Neither the Mist or Eeks were infused for that fight, and they had the lesser damage. And right now, Team Synergy is going to be heading into the finals up against either Arn Esports or OMG United. The next game, though, is going to be that deciding factor of who is going to be facing Team Synergy in the finals. Team Nebula does head into the loser bracket to fight off stream for the 3rd and 4th place, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be taking a quick break as we do get these games set up for semifinals. So do stick around. We'll be seeing you in a little bit.